You are listening to the Lance J Radio Network.
I had to break out my Unsolved Mysteries update music for Carlee Russell. And if you listen to this show, you know I love Unsolved Mysteries, Forensic Files, anything murder mystery. There's this docuseries on Netflix called the Killing Fields of Texas, and there's actually this dumping ground between Houston and Galveston. And there are like 4 or 5 serial killers that are working that specific area on I-35, and you have a lot of swamplands and marshlands adjacent. So I love a stone cold whodunit. I absolutely love those. And if you're an Unsolved Mysteries fans, which is the kind of the mother, the goat of all of these different type of murder mystery shows. Robert Stack, host of Unsolved Mysteries, passed away. I think it was like 2006. And Dennis Farina, who replaced Robert Stack, also passed away. So a lot of these shows were from the late 80s, early 90s. So they play this creepy music in the background because the shows are in syndication on FilmRise and in syndication on Roku. And so the episodes happened 25, 30 years ago. They play this creepy update music in the background. And you have typography that shows what's happened since. So it'll say the missing young lady from such and such university, she has never been found. Or it will say the criminal was caught in Mexico and extradited back to the United States. He served 16 years in prison in San Quentin and has since been released. They'll give you these updates. So I'm going full Robert Stack on Carlee Russell. I was one of the first people on radio. When that story came out, I was just like, yo, that sounds like absolute nonsense. I was like, that doesn't make any sense at all. I didn't believe that story from day one. If you saw a toddler wandering around on the highway, there's no way that you're the only person that sees that. So if that were true, you would have received hundreds of calls and about people, and other people would have stopped. And her story just didn't make sense from the jump, and it continued to get worse. So I'm reading from NBCnews.com. Carlee Russell admitted, this was last week, she did not see a toddler wandering on the side of the highway and lied about being kidnapped in a hoax that set off a nationwide effort to find her. Her attorney stated. Hoover Police Chief Nicholas Derzis read the statement provided by Russell's attorney during a news conference where the 25-year-old nursing student said she was not abducted, as the nation was led to believe when she disappeared back on July 13th. The article goes on to state, Russell disappeared after she called 911 just after 9:30 p.m. to report having seen a toddler on Interstate 459 South, Hoover Police said. She had also called a relative to report having seen the child. I know she brought family into it too. She's covering her tracks with multiple lies, and said she was going to help the child before the relative lost contact with her. Authorities had said they were unable to verify initial statements made by Russell after she returned home 2 days later. Police said Russell told them she was forced into an 18-wheeler truck and taken into a home where a man and woman told her to get undressed and then took photos of her. Investigators, with assistance from the Secret Service, analyzed Russell's cell phone for the days leading up to her disappearance, which they're going to do. She needs to watch a little bit of Forensic Files. They're going to get in that cell, and they're going to see anytime there's murder, somebody disappears, something nefarious seems to happen, they're going to get in them cell records. They're going to subpoena that arse. And they're going to get in there, they're going to see what you're downloading and what you're looking at. So don't kill your spouse. They get caught on Forensic Files with that all the time. And the person is looking up thallium poisoning. And then the spouse gets poisoned, and it never ends well for any party involved. Russell made internet searches about paying for Amber Alerts, how to take money from a register without getting caught, and the movie Taken. Russell's disappearance made national headlines and drew concern across social media platforms as people attempted to raise awareness about the effort to find her. Dersis did not provide an estimate for how much was spent on the search, but noted that it was all hands on deck effort, yada, 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 blah, blah, blah. In Birmingham, that's like a top 10 crime city. Birmingham is gully. AF. I wonder how many people got blamed in that 48-hour period where it was all hands on deck. All the police were looking for Carlee Russell. And the crooks, the bad guys were just running. It's like Lord of the Flies in that mother bleeper. They're just running wild. Armed robbery, murder, extortion. And I didn't want to be too much of a hater because black women, the sisters, they don't get coverage when they go missing. So it's kind of nice to see this young lady get some coverage, even though I knew that her story was complete nonsense from the get-go. And the article talks about the DA potentially pursuing criminal charges for her. Me personally, I hope they put her under jail, man. I hope that she goes to jail, not prison. But somebody that does that, and I don't know the why. I don't care the why. I think I was reading on the streets, on the internet streets, that she was having issues with her man, and there was some cheating involved, and it's kind of like, I'll show him. Why don't you sit in county jail for 6 months, and see how that feels. And finally, a lot of people that believe this story, because I have so many friends that were riding hard. And they were comparing her to Breonna Taylor and stuff like that. Y'all are really gullible. Y'all believe anything that you read on the internet. It's just obvious that this was a fraud, a hoax. Anyone with common sense could add 2 and 2 together. And so if you reposted this and were gullible enough to believe this, it's shame on you as well. Paragon 7 Studios.
You are listening to the Lance J Radio Network.
If you are a business owner in the DMV and looking to expand your consumer base, Ward 8 is now accepting applications for an amazing retail project. Incubate the 8 will feature 10,000 square feet of retail space adjacent to the Congress Heights Metro Station and located next to several key entertainment venues in Washington, D.C. To apply, go to www.stelizabeth.east.com and peruse the many development initiatives taking place in the Congress Heights neighborhood.
Rampage, the first lieutenant of the Universal Flipmo Squad.
This man was on the track with LL and Big Smiles. That's a legacy. That's hip hop history right there. I should change it to the Rampage show.
James Lewis.
I'm not going to do that though.
You crazy.
You are listening to the Lance J Radio Network.
At Jersey Mike's, they slice your order fresh right in front of you. And let me tell you, watching that can send a rush of emotions through a person. Excitement, impatience, baby-like wonder, indecisive, anticipatory chewing, nervous pacing, happy claps, and finally, jealousy, because that's this guy's sub. I should order one. Good idea. Sliced right in front of you. It's a Jersey Mike's thing. A sub above.